Okay, why are atheists atheists? What do they believe?
Why? Okay, all right. So I'm going to talk about atheists from a stand. Okay, that's a big question because a lot of atheists believe in different things. Okay,
it's not a big question.
Because you're saying they believe in there's no God, right?
Yeah.
And so, but if you go beyond the idea there's no God,
right,
and like why they actually believe there's no God, to me that's a larger question,
right?
Because it can come,
which is the one I'm asking,
right?
You're right, it's huge,
yeah, because it's coming from a place. It can come from a lot of different places of why individuals believe there's no God. Okay. So there's the intellectual side, quote unquote, of So for example, if we talk about atheism, and really, if we're talking about the atheism that began to arise in the Enlightenment, and then, the 18th century, and then come through into the 19th, 20th century, and that became attached to science and the idea of modernism, then atheists that started to believe that science gave the answers that God once provided to people. Okay? And so, in other words, science can give us the answers we need. We no longer need a God to give us these answers because now science can. And so the rise of enlightenment, the rise of, deism, like basically atheism is kind of like one step from deism. Like if deism is that there's like a being that's out there, possibly, but then now we're going to the idea of, okay, now it's becoming mainline to move from deism to atheism and moving to a place of, okay, there's actually no God at all.
Mm-hmm.
And then again, it's rising during this period of time, attaching to the sense of science and modernism, and especially that's what we experienced in the 20th century, right? So this idea that atheism, it just kind of exploding, really began to trek with the rise of science and modernism. And so there's the one, that's one side of it. Like, okay, we have a modern worldview or a scientific worldview that is paired with atheism. There's one side of it. There's another side of atheism that is about, one's own personal life experiences. Okay. Like, so I had something so horrible happen to me in my life. There's no way there can be a God. All right. And so I just reject that there's any kind of God because my life experience. All right. So there's the life experience part. And then there's just individuals that have been so burned by Christianity in Europe and in Americas in particular that you're just like, no way. Like if this is like, if God is hinged on this belief system or these group of people called Christians,
right, I'm
out. And so I think there can be multiple layers of why an individual is an atheist, is what I'm getting to. And so there's multiple reasons of why an individual can believe that there is no God.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is hard to make fun of because there's nothing to make fun of. Because they don't believe anything. Like when you tell me your beliefs, at least there's substance to something.
Right.
To grasp onto for material.
Right.
I got nothing.
You got nothing? Yeah.
Anyway, next question.
All right.